and welcome you all participants for the much awaited finale of the Hackathon 2 season, which is organized by AI and ICAI committee of ICAI. This is the one of the landmark event which has been started by ICAI last year, and it has become a super successful. And this is a platform which is liked by everyone who is viewing it, who is presenting the use case, and also by the juries. So today we have all three stakeholders of this hackathon, our esteemed panelists, our esteemed juries, and yes, 500 plus participants, those who are online here. And further, this will also be hosted on our ICI website. One request to all the participants that you take out your time and please evaluate and rank the panelist after their use case presentation. And friends, this is a very proud moment for AI in ICI committee. Myself, chairman of AI in ICI committee, CA Umesh Sharma, vice chairman, CA Dayan Nivas Sharma sir, who was also we हम उनको प्यार से बोलते हैं परमानेंट चेयरमैन ऑफ एआई इन आईसीआई कमिटी देन our permanent or our lovable secretary Vishnu Garg and Rishi Tandon and all our team. So I will request Vishnu to start this session of Hackathon Season 2, and I wish all the best. And participant, please use these use cases in your day-to-day practice, in your day-to-day work, and wherever if you found anything that you require more, these use cases with their detail flow and detail sheet will be uploaded on the AI in ICI website along with the video. You can refer that in future also. So this is the one of the best thing that we are witnessing, chartered accountants who are technocrats and presenting their use cases. So all the best and enjoy your time. Over to you, Vishnu.
Yeah. So, sir, with your permission, we would like to launch the video of Hackathon Season 3, if you allow us.
Yeah. Please launch it, Vishnu. Thank you, Vishnu, for the wonderful presentation of the Hackathon 3. So, participants and all, the Hackathon 3 season is now going to open. It will be hosted on the website. Also, WhatsApp messages will be sent to all of you in the group. And those participants who have already attended AI in ICAI, that is certificate course level 1, they are the persons who will be eligible for being a panelist. So this is one of the prerequisite. Another prerequisite is that you have to present your use case in any field of AI application, and that will be selected by our panel, by our group to present it, and then you can be there on this platform and present the use case. So I will request you all to popularize this and use maximum and take maximum benefit of this. Over to you, Vishnu.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Ramesh sir. Now I invite CA Rishit Soni ji, our jury for the day, first jury, to take over the session from here.
Right.
Over to you, sir, Rishi sir.
Thank you, sir. Very good afternoon,
Good morning, Chairman.
everybody. I think we have the Vice Chairman, sir,
Yeah,
here.
we have Vice Chairman Dayanivas sir, Rishit. So we will request him
Yes, sir.
to take forward the proceeding and give his word of wisdom and knowledge and many more motivational things from him. Over to you, Daya sir.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and compliments to all the people who are participating in this hackathon. And this is something which has been initiated by my chairman last year. And I think the kind of success which we have got across the board is unmatchable. And I pray that you all demonstrate that successful pattern. And Rishiji, thank you very much. You have to be a multi-champion. And I think over a period of time, you are able to go through that process. And
I think his internet is having some issues. He is traveling somewhere, but he is always there to motivate us and to
commend you for that as well. But all the speakers who are there today, people are going to get inspired from you. People at you.
I
Is it
think
audible?
technical. Yeah, it is audible.
Yeah. So I was just trying to tell the speakers one thing, that people are going to watch you. They are going to get inspired from you. They are going to imitate you. And remember one thing, they are going to excel better than you. Or might be there are people who are watching you who are better than you. Only thing is they might have not come in this round. What I would like to tell you is only one thing, that play as if no one knows anything and you everything, and you know everything. Perform the best. Don't hesitate that, there will be something short or something long. My best wishes to you all people. Give the fun ride to all the people who are watching and participating in this event. Best wishes to you all people. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, team.
Thank you, Daya sir. Now I invite CA Rishit Soni ji, our first jury for the day, to take over the session forward. Over to you,
Right.
Rishit ji.
Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon, everybody. Esteemed Chairman, sir, and Vice Chairman, sir, of the AI Committee, the respected panelists, and the participants who have joined us online today. So I welcome you all to this second season hackathon finale. Now we have around 12 odd participants in this finale, and that means essentially 12 interesting use cases which will be applicable for you as chartered accountants, whether you're in practice or you're in industry, to make your job easier, to make it more efficient, to make your workflow more effective than what you might have been doing right now. So without further ado, let me introduce the first speaker. That's CA Shubham Agarwalji. His use case is using AI in finalizing internal audit assignment. So let's see what he has to offer, and the mic is over to you, sir.
I was about to exit Rishir, but now I'm going to watch because that's my area of interest.
Right, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
My screen is visible, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Hello, everyone. This is CS Shubham Agarwal from Tunda, Uttar Pradesh, near to Agra. And today I am presenting a use case for chartered accountant which helps them in day-to-day tasks. First of all, I would like to thanks to the committee member, jury, and the team of AI and ICAI for giving us such a platform where we can demonstrate the live use case which help other chartered accountant. So, as a part of marking its 75 year of excellence, the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India has launched a CAGPT, a specialized tool developed in collaboration with OpenAI. Trained on 75 year of ICAI extensive data, CAGPT is capable of addressing wide range of queries. ICAI has launched a 3-day certification course program also for its member to provide foundation knowledge and the practical skills. Within just 6 weeks of launch of CAGPT and CS Student GPT, the AI-powered tool have processed over 1 lakh prompts daily, showcasing the growing interest among the professional and the student. ICAI unveils groundbreaking CAGPT platform featuring annual report of 5,000 listed companies also. Now, we can use the AI in day-to-day tasks for automating our routine tasks. That AI help in automating our routine tasks like data entry, invoice processing, reconciliation, etc. There are certain tools which help in automation of data. Parallelly, we can use AI in data analysis and inside of the large data set, which identify trends and irregularities in moreover, we can use AI in fraud detection and the strategic decision making also. Now I am coming on the use case for where the practically we are using CAGPT in finalizing the internal audit assignment. Just a minute. For understanding this, first we have to understand the problem statement, that what the problem is faced by the normal chartered accountant. A practicing chartered
Yeah,
accountant is
yeah. Vishnu, please share his PPT. Please share his screen. It is not visible to all. Shubham.
just
आ रहा है Fine.
Sir, it's visible.
Okay.
So first, we have to understand the problem statement. A practicing chartered accountant based at Agra started his practice in 2022. From his reference, he got a call for initial meeting at ABC Limited for executing the internal audit assignment of that company. The company was dealing in leather processing and manufacturing. The meeting was scheduled on next day at 11 a.m. Now the CA has to make the presentation for that meeting and have to discuss the area to be covered during that internal audit. The main challenge for that particular chartered accountant was that he was done internal audit for electronic industry, but he does not have any experience of the leather industry. So he called his colleagues and he called his seniors so that he can get some insight, so he can prepare his presentation accordingly. But he does not get any satisfactory answer. So what he chooses, the probable solution, the CA use CA GPT, specifically industry specific GPT, ICI leather industry specific AI analyst. I'm demonstrating it. Mm, just a minute. This is the user interface of the CA GPT list. Initially, ICI has launched 18 different GPT. Now it's extended to 21 different GPTs. According to our problem, we can select the appropriate GPT so that we can get the exact answer. And we have to take care of one thing, that it provides the probable solution only. We cannot 100% rely on this, but we have to apply our human intelligence also. But our query is related to leather industry, so we are moving the industry forum. Just So this is industry forum. Our query is related to, so you can see the ICAI has launches the 5,000 companies data on listed company data and first bifurcated in different industry wise so that we can take the advantage of it. So we are going to ICAI leather industry AI analyst. So we have to write the prompt properly so that we can get the desired result accordingly. First, I will explain him. As a CA, I got a call for initial meeting of execution. To see the beauty of the CA GPT, it provides the solution properly. It is giving step details of understanding of business operation, nature of operation, product range, market range, industry specific compliance, financial and operational control, revenue recognition. It will cover all parts which is relevant for the internal audit. Risk management, operational risk, financial risk, foreign exchange risk, if applicable. If our company is dealing with the export, we will tell whether the company is dealing with the export or not. Taxation and statutory compliance, production and quality control, waste management, IT system and data integrity. So I have just written a prompt. It is giving me the detail of each and every part. Inventory, logistic, profitability, performance indicator, conclusion. So there is some we need to do in internal audit some specific industry specific risk. I need to understand whether there are some industry specific risk available or not, and along with the associated control. So I give the prompt accordingly. Okay, now give the leather industry specific risk associated with the control to be implemented. And I explained him that the company is dealing in processing the crushed leather, raw leather, and process them to the produce the final leather. Now see the beauty of it will provide the result. First, it will explain us the risk. What are the risks associated with the risk area? And then suggest the controls. What control should be implemented there? Production process risk. Risk related to production process and what should be the standard control should be implemented there. So it gives a detailed investigation so that we can plan our audit accordingly. First, see for each area, it is giving the risk and the controls accordingly. Now we are giving the prompt again. The company deals in export also, so that it will cover the risk area related to export. kindly give the above information in the tabular form, and in addition provide the risk matrix which I can
Shubhamji,
discuss.
last 1 minute remaining.
Okay, sir. So it will provide the detailed risk area and the risk description, risk category, likelihood, and its impact. It will help a chartered accountant to discuss the industry specific risk with their client so that we can seek the professional assignment. Now from this we can create the presentation also with the help of Gamma. So see its beauty. It is giving the risk matrix in a tabular format where each type of risk area and its likelihood is being reflected. Risk area, risk description, risk category, likelihood, impact, and the controls to mitigate the risk.
Shubhamji, time is over.
Yes, sir. So, with the help of just using the CAGPT, it increase the efficiency and productivity, reduce the cost, enhance the client interaction so that we can get the research and V time. Yes, sir. Any query, sir?
Right. So thank you very much for your presentation. It was very interesting in the fact that at least the audit planning related portion can be properly optimized using CAGPT, and you can just visit the relevant industry and then create a plan accordingly. So, sir, one question which I have to ask you over here is,
Yes.
this was with regards to the planning of the audit. Have you, in your own experience, tried to basically check whether or not you've covered all areas in terms of your report? Let's say you upload the report and ask the CAGPT to
Yes.
see if it's properly made up and it's properly
Yes.
including every area of risk which was identified in the planning stage.
While complying with the SA 315 and 330, I analyze this with the and compare the report. Sometimes it misses some information, and I will again give the prompt so that it contains that particular information accordingly. Because many times it happens that something is missed by the CAGPT, but when we give the prompt accordingly, it will cover the same and give the more beautiful answer.
Right. Thank you, sir. And with that, thank you very much for your presentation. Now, friends, let's move to the next use case. We've started with the planning of an audit. Now, let's talk about how the execution takes place. So we have the next speaker, CA Vishnu Acharya ji, who's going to present to us AI agent at work, optimizing CA office operations through automation. Sir, the floor is yours.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone. So today's my use case is all about optimizing CA office operations through AI agents. So this whole idea of AI agent started with one of the faculties who came for our AI CA certification course, who just told a catchy sentence: AI cannot be a master, but it can be an intelligent employee for you. Now this thought provoked me to create something like an AI agent at work. Now, why do we need an AI agent? The CA office operational work, at least 40% of our productive work goes to these actions. One is preliminary information collection based on our preliminary interaction with our client. We collect some preliminary information regarding their service requirement, regarding their basic details, all this information collection. Either it may be done by as an auditor, you, or a chartered accountant, you, or maybe a staff who is designated to do these things in your firm. Then processing the client information and summarizing it. Then either you have to summarize it for your staff to take actions on that, action points, or your staff has to summarize it to you to take action on them. Then the third step is document generation for review based on client requirement. So there are a lot of documentation involved in our day-to-day operations in a CA firm. So for generating documents and review of the client information, we spend a lot of time. This is not the only thing. With AI agents, you can do many more things. So here, my use case is not about how to do an audit with AI agent. It's all about how to process, how to make sure that our operational process is streamlined, and how can it be made effective, or our productive time is allocated to more important work through an AI agent. So with this brief introduction about my agent, let's see what my agent does. My agent is Vishnu's Office AI agent. This is a simple Telegram bot. Why Telegram? It's just ease of convenience. Nothing more specific about Telegram being the front end. I can have a normal chatbot also. Let's see how it works. Let me just message it hi. It is welcoming me and it's introducing the bot, and it's saying it is Vishnu's a firm audit firm chatbot. I am here to assist you with various certification, report, and letter needs. How may I help you today? Are you looking for a specific service or a document? Let me just say, yes, I am looking for a revenue certificate. Okay, it's saying, I'll be happy to help you with obtaining a revenue certificate. To process your request, I'll need some information from you. Could you please provide me your email address? So it's asking a client to provide client's email address. Let me just, for the time being, give some email address. It need not be an actual email address. So I'll just mention botmaster@gmail.com. Thank you for providing your email address. Could you please tell me the legal name of your company or organization for which you need the revenue certificate? Let me just mention my legal name as Botmaster and Botmaster Private Limited. Could you briefly describe the specific purpose or time period for this revenue certificate? I'll also mention revenue certificate for Startup India registration, and I need it by Monday. Thank you for providing the information. Could you please confirm the time period by which you need the revenue certificate? Is it for the last financial year or specific period? For this financial year, I need it by Monday. Okay. Now it has understood what is my requirement and summarized the requirements. Email is botmaster@gmail.com. Company is Botmaster Private Limited. Requirement is revenue certificate for startup India registration. Period is current financial year. Deadline is Monday. Your request is registered. We'll process it as soon as possible. This is what it tells to the client. Now, how is it communicating the same information to me? Let me just show you what had happened in the back end. I got an email from the chatbot. The email got triggered from this particular email ID, which I created specifically for this interaction. Whenever a client chatbot processes the information, it sends me an email through this particular email. So this has been sent just now. Now, dear Vishnu, I am writing to inform you about a successful completion of a client interaction regarding revenue certificate request. Here is a summary of the final details. It has summarized what the client has asked. The client has provided all the necessary information and their request has been registered. They have been informed that we'll process it as soon as possible. Given Monday is the deadline, this request may require prompt attention. Please advise if you need any additional information, all these things. It has generated an email and sent it to me. Along with this email, it has also generated a document as an attachment. Let's see what is there in the document. it has in simple generated a revenue certificate. It has mentioned to whomsoever it may concern, revenue certificate, this is to certify. Now the format might not be proper as per the institute regulations, but you are there to revise the format. We can fine tune the format as we require. Now, how did it trigger all these from a just simple client interaction? How did I get an email like this, where it has summarized the client interaction? Also, it has sent an attachment. This all happened through a backend workflow automation that I did through N8N workflow automation tool. Now, this is a workflow automation tool which I use to execute this particular task. What is it doing? Let me just explain you about what this particular workflow automation is doing. Now here, there are 3 AI agents working all together in trying to explain what my clients need and helping me in preparing the documents that might be required for my client. So the trigger happens with the Telegram message and it is processed by the AI agent, responded by the Telegram messenger, and there is a switch. Why did I keep a switch? Because I needed specific information to be passed on to the next agent. Until that information is obtained, the AI agent should not stop the conversation. So it gets the particular information and it goes to the email content generator. So this node generates the email content based on the summary of the client interaction, and I have used Claude's API for generating the email content. Then there is second AI agent which is generating the documentary requirement, and it is I had given a specific prompt to go by the institute's regulations in creating the documents as required by the client. Many a times it generates a document as per the institute standard format, but sometimes it may also do an error because we all know it is all generative AIs. It works based on how the prompts are given, how the interaction goes. So based on the prompt, it fine tunes the documents. Finally, the document is processed. The document is added to this email node, and this email node combines both email content and document content and sends both document and email to the email of the owner, that is my audit bot. So it should send an email to me for me to review and send it to the client. And if you need, the communication should be copied to client also. You can also keep client name in CC. This is just to show you that though this email need not be communicated to the client, because this is a content that has to be reviewed by a chartered accountant before it is shared to the client. But it can also be kept, the client can also be copied.
Last 1 minute.
Okay. This email content. So this is all about what my bot is doing. And obviously, when I create a bot for my audit firm, I don't want it to do something else, correct? I don't want it to give a conclusion for my CA firm. Let me just ask a simple question. Explain me on 17.5 of GST. So it is saying, I apologize, but as an assistant for Vishnu's audit firm, I'm not authorized to provide the information regarding GST regulation. So the main intention here is that I have built an AI agent just to collect the information and not give the information to the client. So this is how I have automated the client interaction process and document generation process, which can be done by the first level staff, and a final output is given to me as an auditor for reviewing it and finalizing it and sending it to the client. This is my simple use case, and for the purpose of use case only, I have used this Telegram. There is no compulsion that you should also use Telegram. You can use any other feature that is available in this particular N8N workflow automation. Thank you for the opportunity. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Vishnuji. Just one question which I have to ask you in this regards. First of all, it was an interesting use case because creating particular documentations, sending mails, or basically the communication related portion, a lot of CA firms in practice are looking for such kind of automation. So this brings me to the question that so there are a lot of chartered accountants who may not have that kind of a technical background in terms of coding or robot process automation. So how long did it take you to create this particular workflow? And essentially, the hackathon, the purpose of this entire event is just to basically promote that AI is not something which is some kind of a rocket science or something which is to be used only by coders or programmers. So yes, what's your take on this?
Yeah. So again, I'm not a person with a coding background. From planning to execution, everything is assisted by AI. So for planning itself, from the planning stage itself, I told this is my use case. How do I do this? Then Claude gave me a planning, then the generative AI, then the execution stage, I did it through N8N. And here also it has a built-in AI assistant, which helps me in every stage. Whenever I get a query in this, and whenever I get an error in this, there is a specialized AI agent of N8N where I paste the query and it gives me a suggestion. Let us take this node where it appears as a code, but the way I created this code is again asking the AI agent. So I have not written even a single line of code in this whole use case. It is all AI generated code.
Right. So thank you very much, sir. This was an amazing use case.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
thank you for your presentation. Let's move to the next speaker. We have CA Pradeep Gujaran, sir, and he'll be presenting on the topic of AI data scientist. Now, we've seen how we create audit plans, we do the drafting related portion, we've seen how we communicate with our clients. Now, let's see how we work on that data. Shall we? The dice is yours, sir.
Thank you so much. And let me introduce myself. Apart from being a chartered accountant, I also done coding. I am a certified robotic process automation developer. I have done post-graduation in artificial intelligence and machine learning back in 2019, 2020. And after when generative AI got introduced, I started creating a lot of AI tools. And being coming from a CA and coding background, I was able to solve a lot of my problems using AI and all these automation tools. So let me share my screen quickly. And I don't need a sound, so I'll just so is my screen visible? My screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, it's visible.
So my problem, so this is the content which I'm going to cover. What was my problem? What was my plan? What the solution I built, and and I'll give a quick demo. So first of all, the problem. So I'm currently working as internal auditor and data analyst, and I have a lot of analytics which I have to do on a day-to-day basis. And I am looking for a solution where people can come, people can generate whatever exception reports they want in real time, connected to the live database, and also use AI to create SQL queries, and that will be executed automatically into the database, and they will generate the report. So no need to go back and forth with the IT department, no need to have a data scientist in the team. So you will have an AI agent who will do everything for you. And as you know, manual data analytics job takes a lot of time. So let us see how I can plan. So in fact, when I did this like a month back, or a couple of months back, and it was actually working on my like company data. And of course, for this hackathon, I cannot show my company data. So, but over a night, like just yesterday, I rebuilt the entire framework again, and this is completely working on a test database. And this project, like, the plan was to have pre-built Python scripts. So these Python scripts will be running, and it is all pre-built. And when I'm executing, so it will go to the database and it will run that query and it will give you the output. And also there is one more interface where you can type in natural language like a chat, and it will generate the SQL code for you, and then it will also show you the output. So here the Python is basically doing the job of integrating all, like integrating the database, integrating the UI, the backend, front end, and also the report in Excel. And I built all this. The front end you will find it is Gradio, and the output is produced in the tool itself and also in Excel. So let me show the solution. As I told you, I was well with Python programming, and I'm developing AI tools for quite a long time now. And Just like Vishnu Acharya, I'm also very fan of cloud, and though I know coding, I stopped writing a single line of code. I use cloud and I give the prompt and I generate the code and I do some minor changes. You will never get a perfect code. So you have to have some background to fine tune the code which is given by the LLM models. So then I created different components. Then I put all components in one unified platform, which I'm going to show quickly. So let's go to the demo. So I'll quickly explain this tool. So as you see, there are three components. First is the CACM scripts. These are all predefined Python scripts. There is an SQL agent, and there is one more AI agent who is connected to MySQL database. So considering the time limit which I had, so I created certain Python scripts, and also I will show you the how SQL agent also works. So I'm now going to connect to the database. So database already now connected. So I can like choose which department I want to run the test. So these are all the predefined tests, the codes are already there and this is real time. So if I see high value purchase order, if I click on run analysis, so it will show me which are the high vendors and what is the total due. And I can select from, let's say, what are the HR. So let me see split work shifts. So these are the cases where a person is working in shifts. I can see employee without annual leave. So if you see, these are the case people who have not taken any annual leave, and these are all dummy data. Okay, I'm not showing any company data. This is only for the demo. I have integrated. So employees with high sick leave, let's say. So as you can see, this person has taken 80 sick leaves. So these are all predefined tests, and your audit team they can download it in Excel, and it's generated. So as you can see, the output is generated here. Okay. So far you have not seen any AI magic. Let me show you the AI magic. Now, first of all, let me give a disclaimer. So for this, I am not paying anything. I'm using Google Gemma API, and it's free to use if you are using cloud. If you are using Grok. Grok is basically an interface where you can do API calls. So I'm now connected to the database, and here I have written some tests. Okay, so let me first pick this one. So I'm calling this particular database. Okay, and also I am entering a prompt. Show me the list of cases where we surpass the due date. Okay, so this is basically production scheduling, and I want to see. As you can see, it has generated SQL code. One second, let me generate it again. As you can see, the start date is like 3rd March and the end date was 19, whereas the due date was 14. So like instantly you can create SQL code and based on the like prompts. And right now, as I said, I have to do some fine tuning to give the exact SQL code. In my office, I am using the other AI models. Like I use OpenAI. I basically use direct their APIs, and of course, you have to pay for that. And cloud also I use a lot, and DeepSeek gives amazing output. So if I need to make any changes, I just go to my code and just I change the AI model, and it will give me the output. Let me do some data analytics. Okay, now I am going a bit ahead. So I want to have to perform. I want to find out, is there any splitting of purchase orders? So I'm asking, show me list of cases where multiple purchase orders for the same vendor for the same day and include all columns in the output. Yeah. 1 second. Let me run it again. So- Sometimes it happens because as I told you, I have to, improve the backend logic. So then it gives a proper SQL code. Okay. Now, as you can see, so let me see for this particular, okay, let me sort based on the vendor ID. So let's say, it's a primary. One second, it's okay. Let me do some other tests. I know it, sometimes it give, okay, I got it. I was actually selecting a wrong database. I need to, so this is the database I have to select. And reconnect again. This is the problem, when you are doing a live test, it will sometimes fail. Okay, I'm going back to my code. Okay, now it is connected again. And I will again access the same. Okay, I use this table now. Okay, now it is connected. And I will run this test again. Okay. Okay. So let me see now. So if you see the first case, so vendor ID 1536, he's created two purchase orders on the same date. And also you can see the amount. Looks like, he's either trying to split the purchase orders, and this could be very ideal case for our audit investigation. So this is cases maybe he's trying to override the approval matrix, the overall purchase. If you see anything above 50,000, maybe he have to take an approval. So he is splitting
Keep the
into two
last 1
purchase
minute.
orders. Yeah. And one last test I will do. Purchasing, I need to be very, before I run this, I need to change the table name. I'm changing my table name. This is my table name, and this is my prompt, and this is my SQL code, and this is the output. So here I'm trying to find out, show me cases where average lead time is more than 25 days. So, and it is actually showing me the cases where the lead time is more than 25. So like this, even though you don't have a knowledge of SQL, even I, as you see, I did not check the SQL code whether it is correct or not. I was just running the same iteration again and again. And then I realized that I choose the wrong database, okay? Because LLMs, they lie sometimes. And when they lie, and then you have to use your own. That's why I'm telling, some background of coding helps you in doing some detailed analysis. And yes, this is the use case I want to show, and you can generate the output and you can share it with the process owners. So in one platform, I can have all my data analytics done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Before I begin with my conclusion remarks, I think Ramajam sir has connected with us. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Rishi. So, Pradeep, it was a wonderful, presentation. I just have some few questions about it. So,
Definitely.
what I understand from your presentation is that any audit problem or any report a chartered accountant requires in the process of audit from big data or any data sets or any books of accounts, which is there in a database format. That means you're trying to say instead of you, chartered accountant to know a SQL query, rather you can ask a prompt, generate the SQL query, get any report. Is that so?
Exactly. Yes, yes.
Oh,
And
great.
in the backend,
Fantastic.
I have actually defined the rules, because in SQL also there are different type of database. The one which I developed in the company, it never fails. It gives accurate output because the database schema I have already defined in the rule itself. Because LLMs are trained for the all type of job. So for SQL, there is no LLM model which is specifically, gives you, output for SQL. So you need to top up that LLM with your prompts or with your test data, then it is able to give you perfect output.
So that means, in short, this whole use cases makes that a chartered accountant does not require any data scientist or data analyst to run a queries, get the reports.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank
Over
you
to
so
you,
much.
Rishi.
Yes, thank you. I think we have our other jury member, Himanshu Singh ji also. He has something to add on this.
Wonderful presentation, Pradeep ji.
Thank you so much, sir. I think I have met before.
Pradeep ji, I have one question. How the use case that you have presented can be useful for the small practitioners, those who are working in small cities and mid-level cities, for their day-to-day practice? Because everyone cannot have a development team so that to develop the basic interfaces. So how this can work in the Excel or any spreadsheet tool to utilize this functionality? So is there any function available for that purpose?
So basically, for all kind of data analytics in Python, there is a package called as pandas. And you need not have the knowledge of how this Panda framework works. Basically, with the LLMs, as Vishnu also said, even I don't write any single line of code now. I just go to cloud, I define my problem statement, and then I will come up with the components. So I give the Excel file. I'll tell these are the analysis I want to do. So using Python, give me the scripts. So then it will give me the script. Since I have the background of coding, I know, the prompting is also improved. So I get the results faster.
Basically, for the data analysis and all those things, normally the practitioner use the Excel. So is there any possibility to use this in Excel also?
Yes, in fact, for example, if you have a knowledge of Power Query, okay, so in Power Query itself, you can design lot of queries, and it is very, very, intuitive. Like, though it runs little slower as compared to what we have seen now, but again, using LLM, you can actually design the all complete Power Query, and then you put it in your Excel, and your all data analytics is done. So the thing which used to take a lot of time before, now it is matter of few seconds. That's why in my tagline also I mentioned audit analytics in seconds.
Thank you, Pradeep ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, Himanshu ji. So I think his question also answers my question, sir. But it was a wonderful presentation, and I think with that conclusion, we can add a single line over there that knowing coding or having some background information about Python or any kind of basic coding structure like SQL is going to give you an edge over what kind of things you can create with large language models or AI at large, essentially. Yes. So
Exactly.
thank you very much. That was an interesting presentation. And with that, let's move to our next speaker. We have CA Shobit Jain. And here's an interesting topic for you all as well. As chartered accountants, a lot of you might be investing into stock market. So Shobit Jain ji, he'll be presenting on stock market sentiment analyzer. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. I will be sharing my screen.
Yes.
वो फ्री हो जाएगा एलएवी कर रहे हैं तो वो ये आपका सिर्फ एवरीडे होगा ना एवरीडे हेलो am I audible now
Yes.
so first I will show you the app that I have made then I will give the entire explanation how it will work so this is the link which I am pasting in my browser so this is the application where you have to enter the name of the stock and basis the same it will give you the top 5 headline with related to that stock as well as the financial comparison or the financial data of that stock. It helps you to analyze the stock listed in 4 these stock exchanges So we will go one by one. First, we will go for American Stock Exchange. So first, I will enter the stock name for Microsoft. I will click on Analyze Data and see here. It is giving me the stock price trend for the last 7 days, how stock price are moving for the Microsoft, and it is also giving me the headline for last 1 week, top 5 headline for last 1 week. And if I want to have the detailed reading of these headlines, I will click on the link and it will take me to the original news article. And so you can click on any of those links and it will directly link up to the news article. So after that, you can have a reading of news article as well. Basis these top 5 news article, it will give you the recommendation whether you have to hold the stock, sell the stock, or if you have to buy the stock. Then it is also giving you the financial data for the latest financial year. So these financial figures are coming from API, which is Yahoo Finance API. So it is for the latest financial year. So it is giving a brief understanding of the revenue, net income, balance sheet, and profit and loss item. Post that, it is giving you the visualization for revenue and net income in the form of a chart. You can download this visualization in PNG format. You can expand it, zoom in out, zoom in, and so on. And I have added the 2 financial ratios as of now due to the time constraint. I was able to add only 2 financial ratios. You can add many financial ratios like current ratio, debt equity ratio, and many others. And you can also download these ratios in CSV format, and you can use these financial ratios for your further analysis. So now I will give you one demo of an Indian company, for example TCS. I will click on analyze stock. See, for now I have made this stock price trend for last 7 days. This can further be extended to 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year as per your requirement. See, it is giving you the brief understanding of the entire stock. Apart from this tool also help you to compare the stock listed on a single stock exchange, and you also have the flexibility to choose how much month comparison you want to see. For example, I am comparing these Apple, Microsoft, and Google stock for the last 6 months. I will click on compare stock and see. It is giving me the price movement of the stock in a form of a graph, and it is giving me the recommendation as well. And these are the percentage changes. So the price of the Apple has changes positively 6.76 percentage. Microsoft has dropped by 1.78 percentage. So this is the brief uh, demo of the tool. So now I will go to the presentation. So actually, for if you go for equity research, or if you want to invest in stock market, there is a lot of information. So this tool help you to summarize all the information in a single page, so you can make a more informative decision. Now I will explain how this tool was built. This tool extracts the news from Google News RSS. Financial data has been extracted from Yahoo Finance. I have used the text blob and weather algorithm. These are pre-trained algorithm which help you to analyze the news articles, and basis the same, it gives you the recommendation whether you have to buy, hold, or sell the stock. So currently, as I told, I have given only 2 financial ratios. You can add other financial data as well. Then what future enhancement can be made in this app? You can add more advanced AI pre-trained models, which help you to understand not only the financial data, but as well as the social media articles, social media news. And apart from that, you can get the news article from other websites like Economic Times, Financial Times as well. you can put some financial metrics, so you can have a comparison between two companies regarding their financial positions. Since stock price is also influenced by options and derivative, you can add options and derivative insights as well. Then apart from that, you can train our model to so you can do portfolio optimization as well on the basis of your risk category, whether it is low, high, or medium, or the basis which industries are gaining momentum. Then auto trading you can also link your a platform to APIs provided by other platform, so you can analyze whether a particular stock there is high volume of purchase in a particular stock, or the sentiment is high, so your recommendation can get updated accordingly. So that's from my end.
Right. Thank you very much, Shobhit ji. That was an interesting presentation. Specifically, this is what can enable chartered accountants as well to start using algo trading up to some extent if they go properly in detail, in depth into this. So yes, it was an excellent presentation. Thank you very much. So before we introduce the next speaker, I'd like to invite CA Himanshu Singh, our other jury member, to carry forward with the presentations.
Thank you, Rishir. Thank you, Rishir, for your deliberations and presentations, the case presented by the users. Now, I would like to call CA Ankit Jalan for the use case on the custom GPT empowering the chartered accountants. So, as I understand, Mr. Jalan has prepared a custom GPT for the use case relating to their day-to-day professional practices and use case for the purpose of empowering the chartered accountants for their day-to-day activities. So, I would like to call Ankit Jalan. Before inviting Ankit Jalan, I would like to announce that voting polls are open for the purpose of voting by all the members, those who are viewing this entire hackathon. So you can vote the participants on the basis of their use case, knowledge, and overall rating for the purpose of the decision making for the choosing the winner of this grand finale. So I would like to request Mr. Ankit Jalan to present his use case.
Sir, is my screen visible and am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Ankit.
Okay. Section 32 of Income Tax Act 1961. Does this slide look like prepared for this session? Of course it is. I like to put impact on one of the on some of the words of this section. Those words are put to use. Chairman of AI committee, respected jury members, distinguished panelists, and the and the distinguished gathering. My topic, the AI army, custom GPTs empowering chartered accountants. So herein, what I wish to do as a demo in this session is I want to place in some custom GPTs which I have prepared, by way of which I believe we as chartered accountants can do our very many works by creating these army. So today I'll be demonstrating 3 of such GPTs, and let us get to see one of each of them one by one. Before doing that, let me introduce you to CA Ram. So CA Ram, he is basically into accounting and bookkeeping. I'm not going into accounting and bookkeeping GPT. I've done a presentation in my previous session where I showed how to automate Excel entries from how to import entries from Excel to Tally, and that was through one GPT which I did. Today I'm going further. I'm showing you further 3 aspects which he engages himself in. He also is into attestation practice, delivering many certificates. He is into bank finance, so he prepares project reports for his clients. Out of the money he generates from this certification works and bank finances, he also tries and invests some of them into stock markets. So let us see how do we navigate his journey. For that, I am on a plan of ChatGPT by OpenAI, that is a plus plan, and all the three GPTs which I'll be showcasing right now will be prepared on that ChatGPT model. So navigating to each of them one by one, let us see the first one. The first one is a certificate generator. So for any CA into practice, this is one routine and monotonous job which we need to do. So herein the first GPT can come into play. So I've already taken some prompts which I'm like to show it to you. So the first GPT, this is the certificate generator. It can, I've just asked it to take a dummy data and generate a 5-year turnover certificate. So here is a format. The turnover of XYZ having pan this is for the 5 years in this format. This is the format which we can edit the way we like. As per institute guidelines, there is also a limitation clause which we may want to edit. However, may do it. It can take into account this, and for our firm name with our membership number and with the input, it can provide us the data. So this was without any data that it has provided us with a certificate. Now, what happens if I put in some data? Say, for example, I ask it to generate a certificate based on the following data. So if I have given it the data, the required certificate is once again in the respective format for Aman Sharma having this PAN number. So the details are correctly filled up in the respective format and the certificate is once again issued. I've asked it in the previous case to generate a Word file for me, which I can download it. So in the second case, it automatically did the same, and there is a certificate which is ready in my case. So this is the use of first GPT, which I wanted to demonstrate. The second one, now this is an executive summary builder. So say, for example, the CA, in our case, Mr. Ram, he is into project finance. A client approaches him asking him to make a project report. For every project report, he needs to write up. He needs to make a write up of what the business is and a very many detail about the business. So what I have done again from this GPT is something which I want to show you here. So the second part is, say for example, I have given it a prompt that I want a executive summary for a manufacturing plant to be set up in Guwahati for manufacturing of mushrooms. So this is what I have written, and that is very simple prompt, no very fancy prompt writing, because after AI has emerged, there is a lot of stress about giving correct prompt. But I believe that with custom GPTs, this problem can very well be taken care of. Because if the engineering behind custom GPT is done properly, then a bad prompt, or I will not say bad prompt, but a average prompt will also give you good result. So herein, because of this prompt, it has given you a write-up of a setup for a mushroom manufacturing plant at Guwahati. Now, if I just change it, so this is giving me specific advantages about a place, Guwahati in Assam. If I just change the setup that I want to do it for a plant in Bangalore, Karnataka, the GPT is smart enough to understand that what are the benefits, pros and cons about Bangalore and what not about Guwahati. So it has accordingly adjusted itself and redrafted the entire executive summary. Now, since this is not all, that a short summary of this length will suffice in a project report. So I asked it to give a more detailed report in about 1500 to 2000 words. So what it did was, this time it gave me a good detail about things like the promoters, the market prospects, maybe the manufacturing process. And I missed to say one thing. This time when I just changed the topic from Guwahati to Bangalore, I also used another word, indoor manufacturing of mushrooms. So this was outdoor manufacturing where there is normal cultivation, and this is indoor cultivation, keeping the factor that you will find difficulty in getting land available in Bangalore. So the person involved here is not wanting to invest in land and do an indoor mushroom cultivation farming. So this is a detailed project report now on mushroom farming with profitability, with financial analysis, all based on dummy data as of now, because I have not specified data. But yes, in case we do it with specific data and maybe attach the Excel file with financial projections, then this will take up the data from the Excel file and put it across the theory or the project or the write-up which we need to provide it to the client along with the financial projections we do. So this was about my second GPT. Now the third GPT is this one. This is XAU USD Scalper Pro. So this is XAU USD is the short form for gold versus dollar. Since markets are closed right now, so what I wanted to do was a real-time test on a live market instrument. So that is why I took gold versus dollar because that runs 24 hours. So herein, I took this GPT as a demo case. So what I did here was this GPT requires only one thing from the user. Say, for example, this is a screenshot of the trading system through which we can take trades. So I just take a screenshot of the same. I put a simple prompt, analyze and revert. It gives me an analysis of this along with a trading recommendation. So this was some time back before the session, and it gave me a entry at this level with a desired stop loss and target along with a percentage of probability of profit and the reasons why this trade was supposed to be taken and recommended by this particular GPT. Now, if I have to just demonstrate this one, what I can do here is I can do it once again for all of us. So the idea is simple. I just need to take a screenshot of the trading app, which is live right now, and see for ourselves in live how this can actually work. So I'll go and do it once again in a total fresh environment. So this is here. I just paste it. I write a comment, analyze and revert. So it will once again take the screenshot, do the analysis and revert us back with some recommendations. So it is taking up the job and trying to come up with an answer. Since it is generative, the format at times is a bit different from the one which you have seen earlier, but the recommendation will come into the manner. So at the moment, it is telling you two things that at this level, entry can be taken as a buy entry, and these levels can have a sell entry possibility as well. But the good part here is the probability of profit percentage. So if one considers this, anyone will go with a higher percentage of probability of profit. And at the moment, the trade is a buy scalp. And this is why the reasons the GPT has mentioned it for us.
Ankit, last 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So this is about custom GPTs taking role of our people. Sorry, I mean to say this is how custom GPTs can take role of experts in our daily lives, whether it be for monotonous jobs or whether it be for those jobs which require higher skill and expertise. At the moment, when I talk about a pair like gold versus dollar, it is one of the most liquid pairs, and a decision on that is not very easy. I don't want to claim any percentage success for this particular GPT, but yes, since this is a live trade, all of us can consider watching the trend, how it follows. But yes, this is doing good, and there is no recommendation as such. Please don't take it that way. But yes, the power of AI is there to harness by us, and that is how we can take help of such AI tools by using and making our own custom GPTs. Once again, like many of other panelists, I am again not a coder, but yes, for creating custom GPTs like these, like all the three, we do not need to be coders as such. Basic understanding of things along with some additional interest can foster us to build such GPTs. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. I open the house for questions.
Thank you very much. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ankit ji, for a nice presentation. And you have demonstrated the three use cases relating to our daily uses, and that is basically day-to-day practices. And apart from that, these three uses, we can also develop our use cases on the basis of our requirement. And custom GPTs are very useful for making our routine task into the automated work. I request other juries, if you have any question, you may please ask. I think no questions on this. So I would like to call next panelist, Anmol Lohiya for his presentation on the topic related to the Power BI and Python in useful for the purpose of financial analysis. So how the Power BI and Python can help a chartered accountant in their day-to-day working relating to the financial analysis, report generation. So over to you, Anmol Lohiya. Your voice is not audible.
I hope it's audible now.
Yes, now audible.
All right. So, very good evening to all the panelists and the guests who are attending this event. My name is Anmol Loya. I'm a chartered accountant based out of Bangalore, and I work as a business intelligence developer. Now, I get a lot of requests with respect to financial statements. There are a lot of investors who get a lot of financial statements from the companies they've invested in, and it's very difficult for them to sometimes analyze it. Sometimes the companies give them scanned copies or images of their financial statements. Bankers have approached me that they are not able to perform credit analytics very quickly because of the same reason, that the financial statements are not in proper format. They are probably scanned images, etc., etc. So I also, do a lot of MIS automations where I've required different financial statement formats to be converted into a standard format using rule-based approach. But that's a thing of past, right? Now, I would like to welcome you to how the future of analytics looks like, right? So today, what we are going to do is we are going to convert some unstructured data to structured data, right? How is this going to work? Now, I'm going to present an image of a financial statement. Look at this. These are images. This was a balance sheet. This is an income statement. And we have all seen such kind of financial statements in front of us, and we have to manually work on it and create financial statements in a standard format to process it further. Let's automate this process such that if we have financial statements which are scanned images of 6 different companies also, we can come to something like this which I'm presenting right now. This is the structured format of the data, right? Now, what is the process which I'm going to follow for this? Let's understand. So how am I going to do it? First, we are going to extract the data from the scanned PDF financials or scanned images of financials using optical character recognition. Next, I have integrated OpenAI and DeepSeek APIs into Python, right? Once the data is extracted by Python, it calls OpenAI API or DeepSeek API, and then the financial statements are created by the AI itself. So till here, let us complete the process and then we'll move forward into understanding further about it, right? By the way, this is the Python which I've generated. I'm not moving up because the API keys are on top, but this is a prompt which I've given in the Python code and so on and so forth. We are going to run this code. So now let me tell you the structure of how this code is going to be run. I have input files F limited. This is the financial statement, which is a scanned PDF of F limited. Okay. And I have output folder here where currently we don't have anything, right? If I click on this run.exe, which is created using Python, I'll just, whatever files are there in the input, all of them get extracted, converted into financial statements, and exported in an Excel format in the output folder. So let's have a look. I'm going to click on run.exe. And now let it work. F limited has 2 pages. It's extracted the text. Now it's calling the ChatGPT API. Once it calls the ChatGPT API, We have to wait for a couple of minutes. The APIs can be a little slow sometimes. Probably a minute more. Till it is extracting, I will explain you what API is. Okay. Yeah, it is being extracted now. So in the output folder, now you see I have a Excel file which is generated, F limited, right? Now let's get inside this Excel and just see quickly what is generated. Now every time I get a different output at times, because I have the balance sheet, I have the P&L, and I have the cash flow statement, right? Just have a look at, I have purposely kept the numbers in a text format here because it just gets extracted better. The zeros are handled better with that manner. So this is the profit and loss statement which is extracted. Let's close this. Right. Now, similarly, what I have done is I have created one folder which has all the files, basically all the scanned financials, right? These I have 6 scanned financials which I had here. And what I have done is all of them have been exported into Excel earlier so that we don't waste time in the today because we have limited time. So all of this is here, right here, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Power Query. Just give me a second. Okay. Now this is Power BI's backend, Power Query. Okay. What I have done here is I have again integrated the API of DeepSeek here using mQuery in the advanced editor. I'm again not going to open it because of the API key issues. Now I've imported A limited and B limited's financials here. I've just imported a part of it, not the entire thing, so that we can do it faster. Now, if you see the B Limited's financials, we have just the income statement here. We have total sales here, okay, and then cost of sales, gross margin, etc., etc. I have also created a standardized P&L for myself here in the standard list. In the standard list, we have revenue, whereas in B Limited, if you saw, let me just move it up. Okay, in B Limited we have sales, whereas standard list is revenue. Under a normal scenario, we would have had to manually map the total sales with the revenue, right? Or we would have created a rule. But how many rules will you create, right? So what you can do here is I can map the standard list right here in this financial statements of B Limited. Let's see how. I'll go to add column. I'll invoke a custom function and let's name it as mapping. And the function is mapped to standard financial statements, which is right here. If you see, and map name, that is what is the column name which you want to map with the standard financial statements, is account title, which is right. Once I press OK, if you have a look at what has happened, total sales has been mapped with the revenue of the standard list. This is the standard list. One second. Then cost of sales. If I go to the standard list, there is nothing cost of sales here. So when something cannot be mapped, I have specifically called it out that it is unmapped, right? And then gross margin has been mapped as gross profit, operating cost as operating expenses, interest and taxes has been unmapped because it is not a part of the same line item in my standard list, and final profit, net income. So if you realize, my manual effort is there, but it is significantly reducing. Now, how much manual effort is reducing? You cannot define a percentage because it depends on the kind of financial statements, right? And then once you do all of these things, right, you can get an income statement.
Last 2 minutes.
Sure. Once you do the entire thing, you can have a standard set of income statement items and you can import data from A Limited, B Limited, C Limited, and so on and so forth. This is just an extract of the data. That's it, right? So this is how this entire process works. Let me go ahead and complete this. Hold on. So we have seen the presentation till here where the Python extracts the financial statements and gives an Excel. And then we move and load the data into Power Query in Power BI. And then the Power BI has the ability to reclassify the financial statements based on a standard FS. And that is powered by AI or the API integration into Power BI. Now, why is it useful? Right? Of course, MIS automation being one of the most primary reasons, a part of it was used for that. You want to make projections or you want to do credit analysis and much more, right? Just very quickly, I also want to show you how the API keys are generated. This is the OpenAI platform. I have generated an API called as Anmol. In the DeepSeek platform, I have generated again API keys for Power BI and Python. And the usage also can be tracked here. I'm not getting into the usage right now because all the cost related to it, everything is going to be there. And just quickly, one interesting thing here. Okay. So I have done some sentiment analysis. So whenever there's a product review, let's say if on Amazon there is a product review, like let's say somebody says I love this product, unless and until I read it, I don't know whether it is positive or negative. Of course they will have 5 ratings, 1 rating, etc. But just on the basis of text, if you want to find out whether the sentiment is positive or negative, I have again done this using DeepSeek, right? I love this product, it's a positive sentiment. I have also gone ahead and written something peculiar like the service was terrible, and being sarcastic I wrote thank you so much for wasting my money. So I was seeing whether AI can read it. So it read it right and gave me negative. If it was rule based that if somebody writes thank you, you should give positive, that's not happening here, right? So it's a very interesting time we are in currently. AI currently, of course, the API works a little slowly right now, and um, but I think the future belongs to AI, and the analytics part of it is very exciting for me at least. And that's it from my end. And over to you, the jury.
Thank you very much, Anmol. This is a wonderful use case. I have one query in this process, that you have used the Power BI and APIs of the Chat GPT, that is OpenAI, as well as DeepSeek APIs for the processing of the data. You are taking the data from the PDF file and extracting the data through these APIs and converting into the Excel files. But sometimes what happens when we are trying to extracting the data through PDF files using the OCR technology by OpenAI or all other platform like DeepSeek. So sometimes it happens that it doesn't understand the entire data. It provide you the result, a partial result. It provide you the incomplete result. So how you can handle this?
Okay, so Himanshu ji, I think we need to understand that who needs to do the heavy lifting. Now, OCR technology can be handled easily by Tesseract and Python, and we can use a PDF enhancer in the image enhancer in Python. So what I have done is I have made Python's Tesseract and PDF enhancer and image enhancer to do the heavy lifting of OCR, and then I've used OpenAI to go and check whether everything is right. So that's how I have handled my use case.
Okay, thank you very much, Anmol, for this wonderful presentation and use case for the purpose of understanding the process of using the Power BI and Python for our day-to-day business practice, though it is a little bit typical and little bit technical use case for using by every member, but the member who is well versed with the, or who is interested to learn these new things, can be take your use case for day-to-day practices. Thank you very much.
Himanshu,
Small
Himanshu, I
disclaimer.
have a question.
Yeah, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
please.
Yeah, so Amol, could you please explain how difficult for chartered accountant like us to, configuring API?
Ramajayam,
API,
chartered accountant like you can probably do it very quickly, but chartered
correct, I
accountant
know.
like me who does not know coding. See, I know very basics of Python and very basics of mQuery. So when I used OpenAI, it was very difficult, but DeepSeek was, a game changer here. The kind of codes which were generated were very, very, they were actually pretty good. They were actually 90% on point. Of course, I had to go through 2 days of continuous prompting to actually get to that 90% even. And then, a lot of Google search and taking help from my friends on LinkedIn. They gave me a little bit tweaks in the code in mQuery. So Python was not that difficult, but in Power Query, when I had to import it, I had to take a little bit of help, a little bit, that last mile, the last 2-3%, to get it perfect, right? So it was complete 2.5 days of work, which I've put in to build the base. I mean, this was not done right now, not this immediate 2.5 days. It was done almost a month or 2 months back. But
Great. So what you say without a technical qualification like me, a regular chartered accountant can little bit of AI can work on
I
with
think if I
APIs.
can do it, I think everybody can do it. Probably you need
All
help
right.
in the last mile of 5%, but I think you're good to go otherwise.
That's up to you. That's up to you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Over to you, Himanshu. Yeah.
Thank you, Ramajan, for feedback.
Yeah,
Now,
Himanshu,
I
I
would
have
like
one
to
thing to
call.
add.
Yeah, please, Rishir.
Himanshu, Rishi,
Yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes.
So, excellent presentation, Anmol.
Thank you.
Just one thing I want to ask you about this is you've mentioned DeepSeek also is something which you've used, right?
Right.
So, with the latest developments in that particular area in terms of how it's handling the privacy or the confidentiality, what's your take on that using such kind of a rule?
I think using OpenAI and turning off the train model, and actually I've emailed them, so that I need a NDA from them. So with OpenAI, I'm pretty comfortable. It's a Microsoft, backed product and everything. But DeepSeek, I don't currently put in any kind of confidential data. I just generate my codes from there, because I don't have any kind of currently we don't have any kind of NDAs which they can work with and everything. So I think
but
in the
Rishi and Amol, I want to add some more points here. DeepSeek gives their
beautiful.
models as a open source. So there are
Yeah,
some offline tools like LM Studio, GPT for all, where the offline models, even a distiller model, maybe with a small 4 GB of RAM in your PC, can
Yes.
run a small distiller model with 8 billion parameters. And of course, I suggest Rishi also, or other accountants or other people who have joined this session, maybe you can work on with an offline GPT like that. And again, it can be connected through APIs within your own network and own application so that the privacy concerns could be answered.
You can create
Yes,
your
so
own server basically.
yes, not necessarily, even a small PC it runs, maybe a bit a slower way. Yeah, over
Figure
to
of
you.
speech. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Yes. And just I'd like to add one last thing to the participants or the viewers of this particular stream as well to keep ranking the panelists over here. I think the lines for voting are open up to 5 minutes after the last speaker has done with his presentation. Yes, over to you, Himanshu.
Thank you, Rishir, and thank you, Ramajan, for posting a wonderful questions on this use case. Now, I would like to call the next speaker, CA Ramesh Raza, for AI CFO advisor. He has a use case regarding AI CFO advisor. The name, the topic name that he has chosen, AI CFO advisor, is basically fascinating. So I'm very curious to know how he want to showcase his use case regarding to CFO advisors. So how the CFO can utilize that use case for their monitoring the teams and entire company's financials health. So over to you, CA Ramesh Rajaji.
Thank you so much, sir. So let me quickly share my screen. So here is my presentation. So first and foremost, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to sincerely thank ICAI for giving me this opportunity. So the topic I have selected today is advisor for the CFO, right? And let me give a quick introduction about myself. I am basically an engineer, electronics communication engineer from NIT Trichy. I did my MBA finance from IIM Kozhikode, post which I worked in Citibank Bombay for a few years. Subsequently, I did my CA. I am practicing in Chennai now. I am CISA DISA qualified. I am as well as a IBBA registered valuer. So basically, as a practicing chartered accountant, what I noticed was that I get a lot of phone calls from the client asking for some data, which actually they themselves have. So CFOs these days don't have enough, find it very hard to draw insights from various data. So they have monthly MIS, quarterly MIS, annual reports, etc. But to gather information and insights, they find it very tough. Even if they want to do some decision, they will ask the finance team. By the time they get the data and these people work on it, it takes a lot of time. So I have developed a bot. So this is actually an executive assistant. I have Dia. So it is the CFO can chat with this bot and get whatever insights they need. So here it is. Some people are comfortable with WhatsApp. So we have this Dia on WhatsApp. Some people have privacy concerns. They want a special mobile app. So we have a mobile app for it. And some people want it on the big screen. So we have a web interface for them. And this is what it is like. Just like any AI model, you get insights. They can do decision making, data-driven analysis, etc. Let me quickly explain how I have structured it. There'll be a front end, which I had already told. It's WhatsApp or mobile app or your web page. The middle thing is the AI engine, and the back end is the data, whatever data the company has, right? It will be annual reports. You can integrate your tally with it, etc. Like using ODBC, etc. And so let me quickly jump into the present use case, right? So first, let me quickly open. So this is the website I have. So created a temporary website. So here, if you click, you go to WhatsApp. Here, if you click, you can do the chatting. And if you want to have the mobile app, you can go here and download, right? So let me quickly click on chat. So once I click on chat, because this is a website, right? So based on the client, so the use case which I am going to show is Zomato. So Deepinder Goyal is the founder. So I have created a login for Deepinder. So let me just log in. So here is the bot. So I say chat. So Dia says, hi Goel. It recognizes that I am Deepinder Goel. It says, how's your day, etc. So here, if you see, I can chat. I have voice. I have WhatsApp. So assume I go for WhatsApp also. Right. Continue to chat. One second till it opens. I will show the demo of my app. So if you can see, you have a mobile app here, which, right? So the chat opens. So I click on chat. You can chat here, or you have a voice, etc. So I will just try out the voice. Hi, Dia. Who is the statutory auditor of Zomato?
Statutory auditor for Zomato is Deloitte Haskins and Sells, Chartered Accountants. They were appointed to audit the company's financial statements for the financial year ending March 31st, 2024.
So people who are lazy to type like me can also do a chat, right? Can have a voice chat. So let me just chat with her and show you. So let me ask some interesting questions. So summary on growth and profitability in Q3 FY 24-25. So as like any AI, you need not care about your grammar, etc. So it is gross order value has increased by 57%, right? And quick commerce business has increased by 120%, etc. Surge in competition. I can ask about the surge in competition. Let's say what it says. It says heightened customer awareness. It says that core customer retention is the strategy. We can also ask, do you have data to support core customer retention, right? So it says core customer retention is strong with the users contributing 1/3, right? 120, right? And we can also, Zomato recently invested in Blinkit. So we can also ask investment in Blinkit, what it has to say. It says Blinkit has added so many stores, etc. Right? And they have put 370. Basically, all these data it is getting from the documents which I have uploaded. So basically, all the data is available here, but it's very difficult, right, for the CFO to like digest so much data. So let's ask some interesting question. Blinkit versus Instamart. Let's say what it says. Instamart is from Swiggy, Blinkit is from Zomato. Let's see what it says. Oh, okay. Blinkit has a market share, revenue, so and so, da da da. Instamart 20 to 27% with so much respectively. Blinkit also outperforms on operational metrics, etc. So we can also, like how Google changed to Alphabet, these Zomato also changed to Eternal. Zomato to Eternal name change. We can ask regarding that. Interesting. So it says expanding. So they have the quick commerce business, they have the live events business, etc. So that's why they did so it's able to gather all the data and give it to you, right? We can also ask business verticals. See, it says different business verticals Zomato has got, right? It says a lot of things. And let me just try the chat. So to get logs in. So chat here.
Ramesh, hello.
Sorry?
Am I audible, Ramesh?
Yeah, you're audible.
Ramesh, is this similar to the custom GPT? We can do the same thing in our custom GPT or normal chat GPT where we can upload the multiple documents and get the queries and get the answers from the chat GPT. Is it like that?
There are two things here. One, custom GPT, if the client wants to do, he needs to have an OpenAI login. And beyond the only particular number of prompts are free for the.
As I understand that it seems to be a particular product of a company which has utilized certain APIs because it is doing the same thing like custom GPT or normal chat GPT that is doing. We can do the same thing with this. So it seems they're product of any company. So it is product of any company or you have developed it for your own?
So I have a business WhatsApp business login. I have integrated with using a product called JotForms. So they have a chat GPT based APIs. So basically WhatsApp APIs I have used, but the AI model.
So more or less, if I simplify it, that whatever you are demonstrating that can be done through simple chat GPT or any other Gen AI platform by uploading the certain documents and all those things.
Yeah, definitely it can be done using any GPT platform. One advantage of what my platform can do is if you see the number of files, you can have multiple files. If you use custom GPT, there's a restriction of 20 files. So number of files, there's no restriction here. Also like ICAI GPT, whatever GPT which you are using, like I have the paid chat GPT version, but people who don't have beyond a particular number of prompts, it stops there.
Got it. Rishir, you have any comment on this?
Yeah, I think in terms of the guidelines, it's very clear that we cannot have a product demonstration of a person who is basically presenting over there. So I think we'll have to act accordingly in this presentation.
Okay.
No, basically, this website building has been done. Only the AI integration was done with JotForms, right? So background knowledge, etc., has been done.
All right, so quickly we can move on to the next participant, please.
Yeah. We should move on to the next one. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ramesh. Now I would like to call next participant, Mr. Nandan Rao, who is going to demonstrate AI-enabled financial dashboard. So financial dashboard is always a thing that every top management wants to know about the whatever happening in a particular company, whatever happening in their domain. So any dashboard that work as a basic financial demonstrator or any demonstration of the current position without going into the detailed data. So any dashboard will always be useful for every kind of business sections and any kind of business part. So I would like to call Mr. Nandan Rao those that he want to demonstrate AI enabled financial dashboard, and I hope that it will be useful for the CAs and CAs in practice and industry also. So over to you, Mr. Nandan Rao.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. I am CA Nandan Rao, and the use case that I've chosen for the day is AI-enabled financial dashboard. So first, let us understand what is the problem statement that I'm trying to solve here. It comes from a very simple observation that people have different level of expertise when it comes to Excel and financial analysis, right? So we as CAs, we always have two astras in our hands. That is one, the calculator, the other one being the Excel, right? So imagining financial analysis or anything for that matter relating to finance without Excel feels like a nightmare. But now, naturally, depending on the interest or the expertise or the competence that the people have, there may be a limitation or a friction by which the businesses or even the general user can use Excel for their data analysis purposes. So I am about to propose a tool, an AI tool, which makes this interaction with Excel or any tool that is a spreadsheet tool easier by asking questions in a natural language rather than using any jargons or any formulas or any highly advanced tools. So that is the problem statement. And why specifically building a financial dashboard? Now we know that data is the new oil, right? That means if you have data, you're going to make a lot of improvement in your business, and the growth and the profits happen if you have data. And that is where we have seen the current day startups growing because of their data. They're able to predict what the orders of their customers will be, and that is what differentiates them from other businesses. And at the same time, now when there is a lot of data, there is also information overload, right? That means too much of data is also too bad for a business. So that is why we need a dedicated dashboard which can nicely summarize all the data that you have with you, right? And we know how the businesses these days are. They're highly competitive, so they need something that is a real-time solution, right? So now coming to the solution part of today's demonstration. So what we're targeting to achieve is AI powered analytics for financial trends, automated data integration from multiple sources. So how do we get the data from multiple sources? As you all might very well know, these days businesses are e-commerce, right? That means the data will be on 24/7 and people will keep buying and selling. So the data integration angle needs to be figured out. And also, naturally, the dashboard should give you insights for forecasting revenues and expenses. Right now, coming to the tool that I'm going to demonstrate here, it is thebricks.com. This is just another AI tool which has its roots with generative AI. So speaking a little bit about generative AI, we right now know the chat interface, which is all the AI tools that we have prominently been using, be it ChatGPT, be it Claude, and things like that. So this is such another tool which helps replace our Excel as a tool. Okay, and why I am choosing this for this presentation is because of its natural language processing abilities. Now let me directly take you to the website where we can do the dashboard creation. So this is the interface of the website. So thebricks.com is the website. Now, here there are two options available. One is to import the data. The second one is to create a new spreadsheet. Okay, now before going into importing the data and creating of a dashboard, let me just show you how this can be an alternative for Excel by clicking on create new, which will ask me to create a file. Now, this is just another spreadsheet tool that you are very comfortable with. Now, to show you how this will help us not know any formulas and still be able to do financial analysis, let me put some sample data over here. And let me ask for this tool to give me a sample out of what is there. Now, the point of view is you as an auditor, how can you use this for your analysis? So let's say I have a list of invoice numbers and I want to generate a sample. All I can do is select the list of invoices and ask generate a sample of 3 randomly, right? So I'm asking a random sample generation here. And as you can see, it was a simple English prompt that I have given. So now it is trying to process that. To generate a sample of 3 random, I will follow these steps. Retrieve the value from the selected range. Use a random sampling method to select 3 random numbers from these values. Display the sample numbers in a new column next to the selected range. And as you can see, within a few seconds, a sample has been generated. I have asked for 3, right? So it has accurately given me 3 samples from the set of invoices that I have. Right now, to show you another use case, so I'll deliberately have some duplications here, and assumption is that these are invoice numbers. So as you can see, there are duplication here, right? So I have one repeating thrice. So now let me ask this AI tool to highlight the duplicates. So I've asked the tool to highlight the duplicates. So now, if you are a little bit aware of the things that are there in Excel or Google Sheets or any other spreadsheet, we call this feature as conditional formatting. Now, without knowing any nitty-gritties of conditional formatting, this tool is still able to do me the task that I'm asking it in simple English, right? So as you can see, it has applied a formula. Now, I need not know any formula for this matter, right? And as I can see, it has highlighted those duplicates, which is exactly what my prompt was. Right. So this is one angle of this tool wherein this can eventually replace Excel and make our lives easier by not knowing any formulas or any of the technical aspects. Now, taking you through the dashboard, what we'll do is we'll import a GSTR2B, a mock GSTR2B, where there will be a lot of purchase invoices, and let us ask for the tool to create a dashboard. So let me click on import, and it will ask me to browse a file. So let me browse the file. So here I have a GSTR2B sample. So let me simply import that. Now, as you can see, there is a mock GSTR2B that has been imported. Now, this is a table that has been imported, and this is where I can ask this AI to do anything, right? Now, when I say anything, let's again take it easy and ask it to prepare a pivot table. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm just telling prepare a pivot table. I'm not telling take which one as the basis or anything of that sort, right? So let me just tell prepare a pivot table and let us see what comes out with this. So it is smartly taking the trade or legal name as the categorization mechanism and using that within a minute's time, or in fact, I can say within a second's time, it has given me a pivot table of all the categorization, basically the summary of trade name wise invoice value total, right? And here I have it ready in front of me. Now, what makes this tool even more awesome is the fact that now with this pivot table, I can go on to create a chart. So let me click on create a chart. Now it is asking me to select some columns. Now it is just like any other tool where I can have these kind of columns being dragged and dropped. So here I can simply make it as sum. So now what you have in front of you is a chart for the pivot table that was created. So this is now giving you a neat bar diagram distributing the total values of purchases that you have made from
Nandanji, last 2 minutes.
For that particular month. Sorry, sir?
Last 2 minutes.
Okay, got it, sir. So here now you can customize this to your liking. So as you can see, initially it has given you the grand total. So now what I can do is I can change the content and edit the range over here, wherein I can just include only till here and the table will be recreated, right? So let me click on create. Now I can have it dropped over here. So that is how things work here. Now, due to the availability of time, what I'm going to show you is how the dashboard eventually looks when it is created. And how do you create? Just go and give a prompt as create a dashboard. So I'll do it on the back end and I'll show you how the dashboard is going to look. So here I'll come back to this data and let me give me a dashboard out of this, and we'll wait for the dashboard to come up, right? So create a simple dashboard out of this table, right? So let me do that, and on the back end, let me give you a demonstration of how a dashboard will eventually look with just mentioning here as give me a dashboard. Okay, so this is a demonstration of a dashboard that was previously created, where it was the same data using which the chart has been created, wherein you have the rate percentage wise purchases bifurcation, trade name or legal name wise purchases, and rate or the purchase, basically the same repetition over here. Right now, again, these charts are interactive, so I can just click on this. Now I can ask a specific question on this chart. Give me the list of all invoices with 18% GST, and within a matter of few seconds, I'll have all the invoices which have GST rate as 18%. Okay, so that concludes my demonstration. Let's just wait for the output to come out. So this way, what I'm trying to present this tool is that we can ask our clients to give us the data and prepare this kind of dashboards, and we can simply share this with the client where he can have the dashboard ready and we can do real-time changes. And in fact, if I am the virtual CFO of a client, I can also present this in a presentation in a environment where the presentation is to be done. And while we were speaking, as you can see, all invoices with 18% GST have been fetched, and all I had to do was click on the chart and ask the question, give me the list of all the invoices. So with that, let me conclude this. Thank you for the opportunity. Open for any doubts or discussions.
Thank you very much, Nandan Raji. The use case relating to the dashboard, preparation of dashboard, it is a very simple to understand that while giving data set through the Excel files and just giving a prompt to prepare the dashboard was wonderful. And I appreciate that you have identified this tool. However, this tool, it seems to be paid or free of cost.
Sir, as you can see, unlike like most of all the AI tools that we have, this comes with a restriction wherein I can show you up to 100 messages is free. The interaction, 100 interactions are free, then it is a paid.
So, okay, got it. But still, the use case is really nice that those who need to prepare the dashboards will be a good thing for them, and they can just simply write the prompt for as per their requirement and prepare the dashboard. So thank you very much, Nandan.
Exactly, sir. Considering the competence of our articles and staffs as well, the dependency on their intelligence will be reduced and the AI can take over the analysis part.
Fine, fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now,
thank you.
I would like to call CA Ramya Jayamji for taking over the charge and proceed for the next presentation. Over to you, Ramya Jayamji.
Yeah, thank you, Himanshu. So I request all the participants to vote for the panelists here, and the voting will be open for 5 more minutes after the last participant has completed. So now, Mr. Darshak Tucker is going to present on income tax notice reply automation from document to delivery with the notebook, LM, and Python. I know income tax is a nightmare for many clients, and nightmare for young practicing chartered accountant like us, and it is another day for all fellow practitioners. So over to Darshak on his presentation. Yes, Darshak.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. The use case is there is a situation that I receive a notice, penalty proceeding notice from Income Tax Department. In the assessment proceedings, there was an addition. CIT appeal deleted it. It's a year-long story. Now so many documents, crumble up. And then now the penalty proceeding has started. my solution to this is giving reply to this notice, considering that there was assessment, considering that post-assessment there was appeal, and in the appeal, my case has been allowed, and therefore penalty proceedings has to be dropped. So this is my assessment order. Look at the timeline. That is very important. For any chartered accountant, when the proceedings are long, beyond many years, it takes a time to once again collect the facts and put it on a timeline and then redraft, getting over the facts. So considering that, look at the order. This was my 143.3 order way back in, 23. And then appeal order, it was allowed. Now penalty proceedings. Look at this. So what do I do? There is a tool available. Two things, which is completely free, unlimited. And so this is useful for both chartered accountants in practice as well as students even. We will prove that. So what do? I have to give a reply to notice. So it's very, very easy. First, what I had to do, I had to collect lot many PDF files. So in this case, I just have to keep on collecting PDF files and then putting into grinding mechanism. Look how things become very, very simple. I have assessment order, there is computation sheet, there is notice of demand, there is CIT appeals order, there is appeal effect order given by ITO, then the penalty proceeding start. Now these are the orders given by department. Now in order to train the tool, I will be giving source document. When we are using any other AI model, there is a word we always fear about, that it is giving hallucination effect, that we are not sure कि ये जवाब सही है कि नहीं. इसका एक solution है. इसको सेक्शन 270A दिखा दो, बेयर सेक्शन. इसको स्पेसिफिक रिप्लाई किसी का दिया हुआ है तो वो भी दिखा दो. इसको कोई केस लो है सपोर्टिंग में तो वो भी साथ में रख दो. Now how do we work out? Before using this tool, look at this thing. Number one, I have, it is for small tasks, that these things, all the documents are lying on my desktop. Now first I have to rearrange it. For that I have used Python scripts. I'm not at, I don't belong from technical background, but I will explain you later how things go on. Look, I click on this script work. So it will create it has to create a folder on my desktop. See, this is the folder name that I will give. I have kept the ready folder name. I will just copy here from an Excel to here. So income tax reply is the folder name. I have to give where I want to park the folder. I just have to tell nothing. It is simple Python script. And I will tell you also how all chartered accountants, including students, can use this so-called big thing called Python. It is the easiest thing in the world. Now I will tell which file I have to pick up. These are my source documents. So I pick up all the documents. See, I have numbered here. It can be, this is one. I have to pick it up all together. So I will do it 1, 2, 3, 4, वगैरह. I just keep on dumping the document, all PDF file, irrespective of what order it is. I'm not concerned about sequence of events. So I say open, I say move files, right? And some error. But anyway, what it does is, it will, because there is this name, yes, really, I have to do this. I say move files and it gets moved. Point is the pace at which things happen. I could have done this manually. So I will be getting that folder on a desktop and I create it that way. Now what I do is, I move to second toy. This is the main toy. It is completely free. Just have your Google account there and you are good to go. Upload 50 files. Now look, I'm on a case. I don't know anything about the case, but I just collect source document. The toy is Notebook LM by Google. What I have to do is I just upload and it will extract data from both scanned images as well as converted this thing. So it has got a beautiful OCR recognition. Even if it is scanned image, it will extract text out of it. So what I do is I just pick up income tax reply here. I just select all that this thing PDF files. Forget about what the sequence of events is. I say, okay, now here important is these are legal documents. I don't want any hallucination effect. So I have to be very, very precise there. So look here, it has uploaded all the documents. Now the magic starts here. You don't have to do anything. First things first, when I'm looking at a case, I want to see the timeline. So if you can see on the right side, कि पहले क्या हुआ था, बाद में क्या हुआ था, बाद में क्या हुआ था, तो मैं क्लिक करता हूं. इफ यू कैन सी नीचे एक नोट बन जाती है, नोट. So it will generate. It hardly takes few. It is generated. I click there, तो उधर सारी टाइमलाइन आ जाएगी. तो ये चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के लिए बहुत काम, इट इज वेरी वेरी यूजफुल कि उसको केस की चीज मिल जाती है. ये नोट को आई कैन कन्वर्ट इट एज अ सोर्स डॉक्यूमेंट. तो 10 मेरी पीडीएफ फाइल है, ये 11 में इट बिकम्स माय सोर्स डॉक्यूमेंट. नाउ फॉर माय फ्यूचर रेफरेंस एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फॉर. Very, very important is a study guide. क्योंकि I want to understand the whole case. I just click a button there. It is reading only from PDF files, which I have imported and nowhere from outside. So this is important and it is giving me all the details. So here is the study guide. Entire case discussed along with the case law. I convert it to source once again. So it will move to source. Then most important for students also, you can create FAQs out of it, like, question answer. So, you can go ahead with, any question answer regarding that case only. Now, friends, the very, very important part is I can give prompt here. So I've kept the prompt ready. That what I've told, you are a tax expert. I can just copy paste. Yes. And then based on all the source available, important is source. 2 minutes. Yes. Important is source, and you generate a reply. So it will generate a reply. I can query any timeline. So I will show you, it will generate a reply. Now you can see if I click on assessment order, it will give me all the details. So point is now, then you can bring it to your Word file and you can convert it to PDF. So here I have got my reply, which I already drafted. Now what I'm going to do is, I want to send this reply to the client, which I want to do automatically. Once again, I don't want to enter into any coding or this thing. I will just run a Python program, right? I click here, it will pick up that file. Right? I'll tell you also how Python is this thing. It's very easy. Only 2 things and you are good to go. See, it is telling me which. So I say reply, you pick it up, and then it will ask me the email address where I want to send. And so I will tell, I've written my email address here. I've written, I say, okay. And if you can see, it will send the mail. So it will give an error message. But if you can see the mail here, it is ready to send. I send it and it is gone. Now, beauty does not lie in the process. Beauty lies in how things are happening for chartered accountant. I will take it very quickly. First, download Python. Second, download Visual Studio. Install both. Forget Python. Go to Visual Studio. तो राइट वाला विजुअल स्टूडियो, इसका यूजर इंटरफेस ये है. जीपीटी को चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट की क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट एकदम परफेक्ट होती है. वो बता दो कि आप कोड लिख दो, वो जो कोड लिखे Ctrl+C Ctrl+V2 इधर डाल दो आपके विजुअल स्टूडियो में. Then if you can see, there is a button here, run, and you look the magic, it will work. If there are errors, don't worry. Take a picture. Once again, go to GPT. You can use any platform you like. Acha, if you want to convert a executable file, there is something called builder. वो भी GPT बना देगा. It is even a
Taking
code.
time up.
Yes, sir. So this is all
Yes,
about
that was
how
a
anybody can
very
do it.
nice presentation,
So
Darshak
thank
Thakur.
you. Yeah.
And sometimes I, as a practicing chartered accountant, mess up with multiple number of the files. Sometimes many replies. Sometimes I do even give a duplication reply. 3 and 4 point will not be answered at the end of the case. The party will come back to me. The officer will say, no, these 2 points you have not answered. So it's a wonderful tool, indeed, for the practicing chartered accountants, maybe more likely in the litigation domain to get used of. And of course, you also come again with Python. I think multiple hackathons here are speaking on Python. I think the importance of Python is inevitable for the practicing chartered accountants. Yes, with this, I request any other fellow panelists, you have any question, especially then we can move on to the next panelist. So next panelist is Mr. Pranav Patrick Tulsian. So he's going to create his own customized GST desktop app using artificial intelligence. So creating a desktop application, it's always the pie of the developers. Now, a chartered accountant, Pranav Patrick Tulsian, is going to attempt to create a desktop application, GST desktop application using AI. Over to you, Pranav.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, I would like to confirm whether I'm visible and also audible.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Sharing my entire screen. Okay, great. Okay, so thank you first of all. Thank you to ICAI uh, for the for the opportunity. And yes, sir rightly said that desktop application has always been something that engineers or the coders develop. Today, a CA will attempt to develop a desktop application, and also as we say that it is something that only engineers do. I'll try to make it as simple as possible so that anyone watching this can have that confidence that developing a desktop application is no more very high-end thing and anyone can do it. So I'll try that. So let's start. My end goal is to create a desktop application. It will look something like this, you know. And let me first show you a demo of how the app will actually look and how will it run. Okay, so I have a small .py file. If someone is not aware, it is just like a txt file. Okay, so you can just change the uh, what we say extension of this file, and when you say it as a txt, you can simply open it and view. It's nothing rocket science. It's a 34 kb file with some text written. Okay, we people call it code. So this is the code written and it's a txt file and nothing else. So nothing to be afraid कि ये .py कोई नया डोमेन है, नया एक्सटेंशन है, nothing है. So इसको हमने cmd से रन करते command prompt से, and if I do this simple python and this I do something in black window, this app comes. Now you can see this is entirely a desktop application. Even without internet it will work, and no internet required. A very simple application. And let me do a demo. So I'll select a file, I'll do a browse. This is how typical applications work, right? We go to our folder, we go to JSTR1, click this, okay, click one JSON. I'll say convert JSON to Excel. I'll do okay. Something will say number of files selected, this is the file. I'll say okay. Something will do on the back end. We are getting some prints is happening, we do not know what. And then this comes that Excel files extracted and kept in the below path. In this path, the files have been kept. So has this converted my JSON to an Excel? Let me see. The path was this GSTR1. And yes, if you see this date modified, the current date 6/15, and the JSON has been converted to an Excel file. Let us see what it has done. Typically, GST1 JSON has list of invoices, as you can see. So the Excel, the JSON has been created into SSN data, nil on GST data, and some all combined thing as well. So this is what we are trying to create. So we all know, okay, this is something like a desktop application, right? Because if I click over here, if I click on contact us button, a browser will open and a website opens. Okay, if I click on watch demo, then a YouTube link opens and this. So it typically working like a desktop application, and yeah, no internet required. basically it won't be internet and the page not displayed will come. So this is what we are trying to build. So we saw our end goal. This is the end goal. So how does it all begin? If I'm to start very scratch, being a CA, how do I start this? So it's a very simple step-by-step process, and that's in what next 8 minutes I'll be showing it. So okay, so we'll start with a blank folder. We'll start over here, and here I'll open a Visual Studio Code. Okay, now this might sound a bit new for some people, but again, those who are into coding and who have heard of Python, they know that it's a normal application where we can view the files. Okay, so I'm trying to. So the first thing begins with the design. We have to create the design of how the application is look like, right? So how do we create a design? We know Excel. We know in Excel we have these shapes, and all so many shapes we have. So using all these shapes, these are nothing but design. Okay, I have just created this shape one by one. So I just did that. This is the how I want the app to look like. This is my first thought of process, that I want something like this कि कुछ ऐसा rectangle हो, then कुछ ऐसा हो, then browse button होना चाहिए, then ये buttons होना चाहिए. Now this design I did, and I gave this design to our favorite ChatGPT, and let's see what it gave me back. Okay, so I gave this design to ChatGPT that this is the design I want to have, and hi, I want you to help me with an app development using the Python coding. Basically, I need a simple GUI using PySimple GUI module. So these are the basics. Like anyone who is very new to Python and learning it for the first time cannot do this, because he will, whatever code he might get, he'll have to learn the basic of VS Code, what's the modules, what are the basics of Python. Like at least 3 to 4 hours he need to watch a video, and then he will get some idea of how Python looks like, what are the modules and all. Because when we give some good prompts, that is when you get good answers. So I've given the prompt of what I want to use. I also given which version of PySimple GUI I want to use, because I already do coding, so I know that with this version we need to use. So it gave me a code. So as we said, whatever code we get, we'll simply come here, we'll create a new file, over here. I'll say it's a demo file v1.py. Okay, so .py is important because it's a Python file. Now to run this, now these are some basic Python code given. Now to run this, we need to again come over here and try running it. We know how to run a Python code. It's basically simple Python and demo, whatever the name of the file is. So Python demo file v1. So when I run this, if you see, now it has given me already this design. Okay, but you see there's a lot of flaws. Now, so first of all, if you see, I needed it as multiple tabs, but it has given me buttons separately. I didn't need the buttons. Now currently buttons are also not functioning. It is the simple, the design is fine. Also, I wanted this at the bottom. If you see my design was at bottom, right? But it has given me somewhere here, but that's fine. I have to correct it. So I'll reprompt it, and I'll give the same errors which I felt, that 3 boxes are not the buttons, but they are tabs, so that I can switch between the tabs. So these 3 tabs need to be created, and also the contact us and buttons have to place in the bottom. Okay, this is what I said this. So it did the correction. Let's see. So v1 is there. Let's create v2 demo file v2.py, and that is why we have versions in application. If you see WhatsApp or Facebook, we have these versions, right? Because code is never developed in a day. Code takes time to develop. So version 1 was not what we need, so we developed version 2. So let's close this version 1 and let's run version 2. If you see version 2, now if we see, it has understood what I wanted. GSTR1 combine GSTR1, GSTR2B combined GSTR2B combine GSTR2B Excel, convert JSON to Excel, and this. Now if you see, the buttons are not in the right shape, right? It has become small, it has become big. So here is where you will need to understand the coding. So I really do not agree fully that CA don't need to learn coding. They need to learn some basics, because otherwise they can never make such changes, and without these changes the app will really not fructify. Okay, so if you see, I know that this size are a bit bigger, and that is why it's not adjusting. So I'll just simply change the size length, simple, and I'll rerun the code, and you'll see the size of the buttons have been adjusted. Rerun the code. Now the size are pretty much okay. So still you can adjust it again, but yeah, it's fine. So now if you see, this app is of no use to me, because if the buttons does not do anything. Okay, I'll simply click on it, nothing will happen. So I have to add life to these buttons. Okay, so now adding life to buttons.
All of the last 2 minutes.
Sure. let's ask ChatGPT to add some life. So I've said this कि there are some combine of Excel, and I just wanted to give the names of the files whichever is entered. So it gave me a code. Let's copy and create a version 3. Create a version 3 and then run the code. And you see some life has been added because now you can browse, you can have this button, you can select some files, and you can say something and it will say number of files selected. So the buttons have been given live. If you see the watch demo, the links have been added to these buttons. Now till here the ChatGPT can help you. Beyond that, there is no possibility that ChatGPT can help you much. Now if you really want to create a code which will combine GSTR or convert the JSON to Excel, you might need to take help of some code which are pre-written using GitHub. So I'll show you this GitHub link. And GitHub, if you do not know, GitHub is a massive collection of GitHub is a massive collection of all the codes which are there. So you'll find this GST. I have made this repository AI Hackathon, and using this you can copy the code to convert GSTR JSON to Excel. So when you copy this code, you'll get something like, I've copied this entire code. Now in the V3, I'll simply make a copy of V3. I'll name it as V4. And when I do V4, I can add these codes over here. The code which is written here. And when I add this code, definitely you need to understand what this code really does to get a more better idea. And then when you finally run the V4 version, you'll see that the thing which you wanted to do, that the converting the
time is up.
Structure is done. I'll just show a small demo.
Yeah, that was a wonderful presentation, Pranav. I
Thank you,
know, yeah, there are a lot of participants in this session would think like, I've seen some chat messages where should it is too technical. How should I write a code? How should I write like that? I want to inform everyone through your presentation that our leadership 2 years back, they have collaborated this Python and other tools as a part of advanced information technology training to the students. I believe from last week onwards, after the announcement of the Board of Studies, Python is integrated into the CA syllabus. And maybe your presentation would have really helped people who have doubts on writing codes and running a Python script. Thank you so much, Pranav.
Thank you so
much. Any other questions by other panelists? All right, negative. Fine. So let me move on to Mr. C.A. Karthikeya Shenoy. He's going to do a presentation on AI-enabled financial insights analyzer. Okay, let's give a way for Karthikeya Shenoy. Over to you, Karthikeya.
Yes, good evening, sir. Am I audible and my screen is visible?
Please go ahead.
Thank you. So it was very short notice of the announcement of finale of hackathon. I feel very much privileged, and I first of all thank the institute for having presented this opportunity to me. So when I got a call that I've been shortlisted as a finalist, so I started ideating on what can be done. So in my previous round, I had done AI analyzer on ratio analysis. So this time I thought I'll take this to one step up. And how about I come out with a mobile app? So this mobile app, presently, it is compatible for being hosted on Play Store and App Store, but it is not yet hosted. I am presenting a web version of the mobile app. Again, I need to work on the user interface and resolution, but this is 100% indigenously developed using the AI tools. So the target that I see here is small and medium entrepreneurs who run small and medium businesses, retail businesses. For various factors, they are not able to, hire a good quality, high-paying accountant as a cost factor, definitely, and also because of non-availability of skilled employees. So most of the time, CAs end up providing end-to-end service to these small and medium entrepreneurs. So not only the annual audit and ITR filing consultation, the CAs are often asked about profitability statement, provisional, etc. So what we do as chartered accountants is we ask the clients to share the tally data, and then we work on the tally data. The problem I see here, the problem statement that I see here is when the tally data is shared time and again, it leads to redundancy. And then again, we see errors in tally data. We follow a bottom to top approach. By bottom to top, I mean we start from entries and then we reach till the balance sheet. So the data is very raw, and it's time consuming when you're manually doing it. And cost benefit, it is not remunerative for us. Also, it is not workable for client as well. So the solution that I saw here is a tech-oriented solution. So what if the raw data can be converted into a meaningful information and then into a insight, a dashboard? So conventional way of preparing this can be automated to real time. This will save a lot of cost and will be value for money. So what I mean by conventional to automated to real time is instead of following bottom to top, what we can do is we can have the insights, dashboards, and the minute we see a error or a gross variation in any parameter, now we know which area of the business to be looked into, whether the business is not right or whether the accounts are not maintained properly. So the solution that I came up with is a hard-coded app called FinSight, which I have named as FinSight. It is a simple mobile app that is customized for any business. We do have a lot of these apps that pull data from Tally, which are there in the market. I don't like to take names, but they are rigid in terms of their dashboards.
Kartikeya, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Are you aware of it? You should not, advertise any applications like that.
Okay, no, this is not
As a part
a.
of guidelines, for
Yeah,
the
sorry.
hackathon. Maybe
Uh,
the MC team can, suggest me on this. Should I allow this to further go on?
No, this is actually, sir, FinSight is my, I have named it. And okay, so it is okay. I will
Please,
show the.
okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah, it is not a sponsored or a third party app, sir.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Don't waste time because we have less
Yes.
time.
Yeah, so this is customized for every business, and I would call this as your books in your pocket. So I have developed this using, this app will give customizable dashboard for every business. It also hosts a AI chatbot and it can customize add-ons. So the architecture that I have worked here is to pull data from ODBC. Any bookkeeping software that allows ODBC can pull data here. Logics are handled by an online web app called as React, and I have used OpenAI API in this. So I would quickly show the app to you. So I am pulling data from Tally. I have a dummy Tally data. Where I have enabled ODBC. So the dummy test Tally data is loaded. And ODBC I have already enabled. This is a batch file I am running, which I have, sorry. This is a batch file I am running that I have already created in JavaScript. As you can see, the app is hosted on localhost of my system. So I have called it FinSight dashboard. This houses a dashboard where you can get the KPIs. Like I have categorically placed P&L and balance sheet KPIs. It is now calling data from Tally and it is giving live data, sales, purchase, indirect expense, etc. We can also see a balance sheet KPI. So we can see 3-4 parameters of balance sheet. This can be customized. We have bar chart visualization. We also have donut chart visualization for, I have taken indirect expenses. Donut chart visualization is available. We have working capital ratios. I have given couple of them, and we have balance sheet ratios. All these are pulled on real time. The next best part is if the businessman is not happy with the rigid dashboard, he can go to chatbot. In chatbot, I have two options: OpenAI chatbot, which is a general API OpenAI chatbot. So here you can say hi, it will revert from ChatGPT, OpenAI API using OpenAI API key. And if you ask a general question like COGS formula, this is able to answer. It will give the formula. But if you go to this in-house chatbot, which I have developed, and you ask COGS formula, it is understanding that this is not a question that is related to tally data. Rather, this bot will give you answers like balance of, I want to show you in my tally, dummy tally data, I have a OD account called as Fed Bank OD. The balance is 60,58,000. So you come here and say balance of Fed Bank OD, it is able to fetch balance of Fed Bank OD. So if you ask balance of cash, it is able to fetch balance of cash in hand. So this chatbot will enhance the insights given by dashboard to a whole new level where a user can ask any customized question. And the add-on feature, GST login, it all can be added. Yes, thank you. So these add-on features can be added. I'll quickly run through on how I have developed this indigenously made app. So as you can see, I have created a project in my ChatGPT mobile app development. So I created a project so that I can manage all my chats, all the files that I add, and all the instructions that I give all in one place. So as you can see, I have developed the app. I have broken the entire process into app development, Tally XML API integration, and chart selection. Basically, I have done the backend work here, and this is the work where the data from Tally is getting pulled to the app. And this is where I have developed the user interface. So this is how entirely the using OpenAI, I have managed to get the code written in Java and executed via a batch file. So with this, I would like to conclude. If I have time, I can just show you how real time it is. I will go to miscellaneous expense is one of the expense, and I will pass one entry.
So you have just 35 seconds left.
Okay, I'll quickly finish this.
Yeah.
Miscellaneous expense. So you can see the total indirect expense in Tally is 1641,669. You can see in P&L KPI.
Understood, understood,
It is
Karthikeyan. So it's a live
1641,669.
integration.
It is, yeah, it is
It's a live
integrated with every
between
refresh.
between this Tally and the application. But I also
Yes.
wish to state here that this NLP is also built in Tally. For example, you can go to Tally calculator panel and type the word cash or any other names of the ledger by pressing Control A calculator panel, which will give you the same set of comment. But of course, I would appreciate the fact you one step ahead of creating a web application out of it or a desktop application out of it, like the previous one, and try to integrate with other AI related tools. Yes. So the next participant is my favorite topic: automating audit using AI. Friends, Mr. Prab Agarwala. Today chartered accountant, the only problem was resource. The resource is not available to do any kind of audits, and there is an increasing cost in our organizations day by day. So automating audits can solve all the problems. Over to Prabha Agarwala. Yes. Prabha, you're not, and we're not able to see your screen as well. The technical team, please help us. Prabha, you should check your audio. Again, you're speaking. I could not able to hear. I request the.
Is it audible now?
Yeah. Please, you're audible. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, my screen is visible, I believe.
Yes, affirmative.
Yeah. Okay. So a very good evening to one and all present here. So once when I was going through the website of this institute, I came across this material, which basically had non-compliances which was observed by the CA firms during the audit. And when I was reading that, I thought that, if I somehow could use AI tools to solve these issue, I would be actually solving a large scale problem, right? So in my previous round, I had used the AI tools to automate the audit documentation process, which was one of the major non-compliances observed here. And today I will be using the AI tools to go a step ahead and use AI to plan in the planning stage and as well as the performing stage. So yes, I believe that now we can use the GPTs as our new article assistant. So here, just a second. Here you can see I have a balance sheet, a PL account. I'll just show you here. We have a balance sheet and a PL account in this. So this is the balance sheet. This is the PNL account. And I have a Python code here, right? So when I run this Python code, you can see, the Python code will run and we'll have a Word file appearing here. So you can see that this is a Word file which has magically come here. And when we open this Word file, you can see that balance sheet items, it has done item by item, it has done a risk assessment, and it has quantified that whether the risk is a low risk, high risk item, medium risk item. So that basically it has done a risk assessment based on the parameters which I have defined. And similarly for the PL item, and it has done a risk assessment on the basis of parameters which I have defined. And not only this, on the basis of this assessment, it has suggested me the audit procedures also, right? So if it is a low risk item, it has given me a certain set of audit procedures. If it is a high risk item, the audit procedures are more detailed one, right? So it has not only given this risk assessment, but it has also given me the audit procedures. Now say for example, I'll just give you an example. Here in share capital, I had told that if the variation is, let's say, 0%, which is in more most of the cases, so will be a low risk item. And one of the audit procedures, simple audit procedure, would you could simply check with the previous year's financial statement. You can of course modify the audit procedures as per your requirement, right? And if there is a positive variation, then you may have to perform additional audit procedures like verifying the PAS3 returns, money is received or not, whether the proper disclosures have been made in the balance sheet, right? So as the risk changes, the audit procedures will also change. Now the question is, how did I develop this code, right? So for this, I have written a prompt, right, that please pick up the balance sheet and a PL file from this location, and then you set a parameters of the variation as per your professional judgments. And then you can suggest that if the variation is less than this, give this set of audit procedures. If it is more than a certain percentage, give another set of audit procedures. So I have the detailed prompt defining all the parameters clearly. And when I give this prompt to chat GPT, you can see I have this Python code generated here by the chat GPT. So I do simply copy this code. And in the previous round also, I told that we'll use idle because it is as simple as the notepad. So here you can simply go to a new file. You can just paste the code, save the code, and then run the code, right? Of course, you will not get your desired output in one go. There will be some issues. There might be the output might not be as you desire. So whatever is the your issue you are facing, you can just simply go back to the chat GPT, and again you can mention that, look, I expected an X output, you are giving me a Y output, so please modify your code accordingly. So it will do the edit in this code. There can be some technical issues also, which is visible here in this screen. You can simply take a screenshot, post to chat GPT. It will again edit the code as per the technical issues that you are facing, right? So once this is done, you have the code ready. Of course, it might take 2, 3, 4 iterations. And once you have this code ready, you can simply go on changing the balance sheet and PN. And every time you run the code, you will have a new Word file giving you a detailed risk assessment process along with the set of audit procedures that you may need to perform as per your predefined parameters, right? So this was one stage where, automating, we could automate the planning part. After planning, these AI tools can also help us performing the audit also. So, as chartered accountants, we are mostly concerned with whether the financials meet the applicable FRF or not, comply with the applicable FRF or not. Basically, this covers, it complies with whether Companies Act or not, Schedule 3, AS, Ind AS, whether they are complying with this or not. So, these GPT tools can help us check that also. So here we have one file. This is significant accounting policies. So here I have a significant accounting policies, and I now want to check whether this is as per the accounting standards or not. So here I have made a deliberate mistake. You can see in the inventories part, as per the accounting standards, you can use either the FIFO method or the weighted average method as per AS2. A LIFO method is not allowed, right? So this is a violation of AS2. So when I upload it, let's see whether it can check whether it complies with the applicable FRF or not. So here I'm using the FRRB GPT, and I've just posted the accounting policies doc, and I've asked it to check whether it is as per applicable FRF or not. So here you can see it is checking that okay, certain policies AS10 is complied, AS28 is complied, leases it is giving me certain minor corrections are needed, and you can see here inventories. You can see that uses the LIFO method, correction is needed. It prohibits LIFO, FIFO or weighted averages required. So basically, this tool is now helping me to check whether the financials are as per applicable FRF or not. Going forward, in the audit stage, we have several documents, and we need to compare multiple documents, a lot of data sheets. So if we have, let's say I've taken one example that I have a balance sheet for the current year. Just a second, just a second. Sorry. So I have this current year balance sheet, and this is the previous year balance sheet. So here you can have these comparatives here as compared. So now I have asked the GPT to compare both the financials and tell me if there is any discrepancy, whether it is observing any discrepancy or not. So here you can see that in inventories, I've deliberately made a mistake. This is 748 figure here. Well, in the last year, the figure is 784. So basically, the 4 and 8 are being interchanged. So now when I upload this financials here in the GPT and I asked it to compare, the remaining figures are the same. So you can see with share capital, reserves, current liabilities, equities, everything is same. Only difference you can see in inventories part, it is showing me that 784 and 7848 are interchanged. There is a 36 difference, and due to which, total assets are also differing by 36, right? So this can help you compare multiple documents, large amount of data sets also. And one more part which we feel, when we are doing audits, right? Say for example, I am doing an internal audit wherein I have to, look into these challans, and I have to fill, let's say, clause 20 of the 3CD form, right? So I can ask GPT to do that for me. So what I have done is I have just uploaded this chalan. This is basically a dummy chalan. So I have uploaded the 12 chalans, and I've asked it to create a data in the form that first column will be a serial number, then it will give me the period of chalan, what date the chalan was paid, and amount that is paid, right? So you can see it has analyzed the chalan, and it
The
has
last 2 minutes.
sure, sir. And it has given me the entire data in a structured form. Now I can simply download this, and whatever software I'm using, X software, Y software, I can simply import this data from the Excel file directly into the clause 20 part, right? And if you can compare also, you can see, I'll just randomly compare one or two part. So you can see this June 23 chalan, 18 July 6295, June 23 18 July 6295. You can see randomly. I'll do one more. August 23 chalan, 13 September 8271, August 23 chalan, 13 September 8271. So I've checked it. It perfectly creates this data for me, which I can go ahead and use to do this part, right? So yes, so this was my use case. I would like to conclude here. Thank you very much. If any question, I can take questions.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhav. And I think you have shown us 2, 3 use cases where the audit can be automated using this ChatGPT and other generative AIs, as well as you also touched upon Python. So to conclude here, I can see at least half a dozen of participants here are using Python as a tool to automate their audits or do anything with AI. So, and overall, it is a wonderful presentation by the various participants. I think various aspects of audits, not only audits, stock market and other things being spoke upon. And it was indeed a, eye-opening session for other participants as well. And all suggest the participants to vote for the panelists here, and maybe next 5 minutes the poll will be open. And over to the organizing committee. Thank you so much. And any other words you can wish others can say? Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for patiently listening to all our participants. We thank our esteemed chairman, sir, CEO Mesh Sharma ji, our esteemed vice chairman, sir, CA Dayanawaz Sharma ji, our three jury, esteemed jury, CA Rishit Soni, CA Himanshu Singh, and CA Ramajayam Jayachandram, for sparing their valuable time and judging this prestigious webinar. Please note that the voting lines are still open for the next 5 minutes. Viewers may please see that the voting lines are still open for the next 5 minutes. And while you vote, let me remind you once again that we are coming back with the brand new season 3 of AI Hackathon, which is starting from the 21st of March 2025. It will have 8 preliminary rounds across 8 Fridays. And the top 3 from all the 8 preliminary rounds will go to the semi-finals to be held in June. And the top 3 from those 2 semi-finals will go to the grand finale to be held in the month of July during the ICAI AI Innovation Summit. Please stay tuned. We'll be telling you more about this in the near future. Please keep on voting. तुम कर दो मेरा स्क्रीन शेयर किया तुमको Two minutes more. Tech support. So the season 3 starts from the 21st of March. I invite all prospective panelists to register for the same. We will be floating the Google form for the panelist registration shortly. And please register in huge numbers and make this also a grand success, as you did for the first 2 seasons. Each webinar will feature 10 panelists, with each panelist allotted 10 minutes to present their AI use case for chartered accountants practice and industry. The eligibility, please note the eligibility to register is that you should be a AICA certified participant who have taken the AICA certified batch or who has registered for a AICA certified batch, which is going to be held in the near future. So these 2 are the primary criteria for the eligibility of the panelist. Either you are a AICA certified participant or you have registered for a AICA certified AICA batch going to be held in the near future. The voting lines are still open for the last 1 minute. So now we now close the voting lines, and the results of this grand finale will be announced in the near future. Please bear with us, and we hope to see you soon, 2 weeks from now, for the start of the season 3 of the AI Hackathon. Thank you. Thank you so much, and we look forward to see you once again. from 2 weeks from now, 21st March, 4 p.m. Thank you so much.